Now, sunlight can be broken down into different colors. And just like the nutrients in whole food, each color in sunlight has its own effect. Now, from the invisible to the visible, there are all different colors, from violets to red. And the wavelength of the light that we see is measured in nanometers. But for us, it's just colors for the human eye. Now, our bodies depend on all colors for health. Think of the sunlight, the yellow. The yellow has a bright and cheering effect. And the vitamin D helps to regulate the amount of calcium and phosphate in the body. These nutrients are needed to keep bones, teeth, and muscles healthy. And most of us are able to get all the vitamin D they need from sunlight. Now, how does all of that relate to the rest? Have a look. Think of a car, okay? Well, to get this car running, you need a motor. Yeah? And what does the motor of the car need? Well, it needs gas or gas oil. And the motor will also need some oil, some motor oil to make it work. Well, it's the same in humans or animals. Nevertheless, if it's a dog, a cat, a bird, an alpaca, or a horse, we all need something. Now, in this case, it's the following. Imagine each cell in our body is like the car. So inside those cells, we have our motor. But the motor, in our case, is something called a mitochondria. Now, the mitochondria can live if it's getting good food. It will absorb the food, eat the food, and in return, it will make our ATP system, or also called Adenosine triphosphate system, stronger. And so, when the mitochondria are receiving good nutrients, they give off that energy to the ATP system, and so the ATP system will thrive. Sadly, nowadays, we do not eat well enough to make it all thrive. So from there comes the red light. Have a look. So torching with a red light at 660 nanometer wavelength, it's being absorbed in sufficient quantities when we torch long and often enough. And it will be converted by the mitochondria in cellular energy, given to the ATP system, which will then thrive. You can see here under on the pictures, that's a point that we torch in case of colic and belly pain on a horse. We will torch for 5 seconds on that point, and we will stimulate it, and the mitochondria will receive it. It will be absorbed and then convert in cellular energy. The ATP system will become stronger and will be able to fight off and intervene. So what do we use? Well, red light therapy uses a torch-like instrument with a 660 nanometer wavelength red light to provide the photons required to painlessly and safely stimulate tissue.